You ready to go on an adventure?
Okay.
Those are your stats right there at the top left, that first stat block. That one.
Okay.
That's your character's stats. So, a wandering princess, engaged to a lord far, far away, promised to him at least. You find yourself lost in the dark woods. Suddenly you hear a rumbling from behind you. Crashing out of the woods is a massive ogre. You turn to run, but on the other side, another ogre. However, at that moment, you hear shing! A sword drawing from a sheath. From across the clearing, you see a knight standing there in armor, but a torn tabard. Clearly just come from another battle. He says, "Hands off her! Now!" Roll for initiative.
Okay. Oh, I suck. Math is hard. 12.
12? Alright. You're up first. There are two ogres. We're going theater of the mind for this one.
Okay. Well, I don't know what I can do. I'll make 3 attacks.
Oh yeah.
Unarmed.
Alright.
Because I'm awesome. Okay. 14 to hit the first one.
14 will hit.
Okay. We're going to go in order. Oh, this one is 13.
13 will hit.
This one is a 9.
9 won't hit.
So 2 hits.
Okay.
10. $15.
15? Alright, you deal 15 damage. Did you want to use your ability there?
Which is... yes. 13 Constitution saving throw or be stunned.
Alright. He failed. You have him stunned.
Yes!
That makes it his turn. Now on his turn, if he's stunned, I can't remember what that means.
Well,
Let's double check.
I don't know.
Off the top of my head, I just don't remember. Stunned. A stunned creature is incapacitated. It can't take actions or reactions, can't move, and can speak only falteringly. And attack rolls against the creature have disadvantage. Or have advantage. So he can't do anything. The other one, turning around to see the knight, goes rushing towards him and slams a shoulder into him, but the knight dexterously steps out of the way. The knight charges that ogre, raising his greatsword, looking over to you and says, "Hold fast! We'll get out of this alive!" You can add a d4 to all of your attack rolls and saving throws.
Heck yes.
Alright, and it's your turn.
Okay. Then I'll punch the one that's stunned, which means I have advantage.
Yes, you do.
So let's use this for advantage.
You got him.
Okay. Good, because math is hard.
Yeah. You got him again.
Oh, yes. Last one. If I can pick up this d4. Nope.
You got him again.
This guy's going down.
Ooh, he might be going down.
Well, the first one is 12.
Okay.
And then another 12. And, oh, that's a 9. And then 11. No, 13. 13.
Alright, so charging that ogre, you slam a fist into him, and then another, until he falls to the ground, landing on his back with a groan.
That's right.
The other ogre swings a great club towards the knight, but the knight raises his great sword and parries the blow. The knight swings his great sword at that ogre twice, hitting both times, dealing 19 slashing damage as he cuts across the ogre's belly, The ogre roars and starts to run away. Do you want to pursue it?
I mean,
You can. It's up to you.
he'll probably hurt more people. And ogres are bad, right?
That's true. That's true.
Then let's punch them.
All right, then it's your turn.
Probably not. 5 plus 7.
That's a hit. So all those hit.
Sweet. Okay. 13. 13. 10.
All right. Running after the ogre, you jump on his back and you start strangling him until he also falls to the ground.
That's right.
The knight sheaths his sword and walks over to you and says, "Milady, are you all right?"
Yes.
Ah,
I nailed it.
that's good to hear. He says, "You shouldn't be traveling alone here in these woods." He pulls back his cape and he hands you a pair of hand axes.
Yes!
So your arm now does D6, or I guess it was D10 before, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I want the hand
Okay,
axes.
well it still does D10 because they're monk weapons. He hands you the two hand axes, and he says, "These will help keep you safe."
Of course.
He says, "We should get you somewhere safe.
Okay.
The academy where I studied is nearby here. Come, I shall lead you there.
Okay.
However, we will have to journey through a few perilous trials."
Okay.
Alright.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to. This is mostly just a story for you.
Okay.
So he leads you through the woods for about 7 hours or so until near the end of the day. You come near a place you've been before that you know to have fine food and cuisine. It's a nice tavern.
That's right.
It might be a good place to stay the night.
Okay. I love food. Let's stay here.
All right, do you suggest it to him?
Yeah.
All right. He says, "Oh, well, then if you will lead the way." And as you do, you travel down the road about 30 more minutes, but when you arrive at the tavern, you find it a smoldering heap. Fire still licking the edges of the building.
No.
You hear,
Is it a dragon?
and coming out from the building is a red dragon, a large red dragon. It looks down to you and it says, "Who dares intrude upon the domain of Chelosorax, the red dragon?"
We do.
He says, "Then you will burn!" And he unleashes a fiery blast. Roll for initiative.
I should know this. 14?
All right. That puts you up first. The red dragon is standing in the heap of your favorite tavern.
He just destroyed my favorite restaurant. Rude. Alright. So now I have 2 hand axes.
Sure.
So I'm gonna throw some hand axes.
All right.
I'm gonna hit with some hand axes.
Okay.
Because then I get 30.
Fair.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna like stab it in the toe.
All right.
And then like jump on its hand.
Nice.
And then like use my 2
So
axes
like
to
climb up his
up.
back.
Yeah.
Right on. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, these 2 worked.
Yeah, that's gonna be 2 hits then.
Yeah.
All right. What's the damage on those?
30 10s, yeah?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. 13, 10, 8.
All right. The dragon, as the knight also runs up to join you, the dragon unleashes a fiery breath. Roll a dex save.
I get hit, I got a 6.
All right. The knight somehow managed to pass his save. So you will take 17 fire damage, and the knight will take half of that.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how to do math.
The knight charges the dragon with his great sword, and crits the dragon on his first strike, hitting on the second, dealing 12 damage and then 17.
Woo!
Alright, and that makes it your turn.
I've never killed a dragon before. This is exciting.
Really, huh?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that. I think that's going to be one hit.
10.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, that'll be one hit.
Okay. Well, you know, I just got hit by fire, so...
Oh, but...
12.
That is going to do it. As you climb up the dragon's back, you sever the part of its throat that generates this fiery blast, and the dragon crumbles to the ground dead. Inside, as you bunker down for the night for shelter, you do manage to find that they still have some unleavened bread and some beans that have been fried more than once, as well as a couple of chickens in the back that you could easily cook up.
Amazing.
No.
We do so.
Of course.
It's the best meal ever.
You also find in the morning, you awaken to a strange sound, a sort of...
Is it a cat? Is that a cat noise?
It's not a cat noise, no.
But I look for it because I want it.
As you in the night search for this noise, the knight opens the door and he says, "Oh my. And here I thought they were all extinct."
Is it a sea flap flap?
He leads you into a room where there's an aquarium built up.
Yes!
And in the aquarium is a pair of majestic sea flaps.
Amazing.
These creatures are able to fly both under the water and above in the sky.
Does one of them have a sad log?
They do not, no. I know. Neither of them do.
Different room then.
But there are some saddles nearby.
We're gonna ride sea flap flaps? Heck yes! Also, before we do that, I turn to the knight and I say, "It's strange that you have hand axes that you weren't using. You just had them. Whatever."
I use them for whenever I'm farther away from my opponent and I need something to throw.
That's a good plan.
Yes.
They're really good at throwing.
They are, and you're quite good at throwing them.
And then saddle up that sea flap flap. Let's go.
Alright, you saddle up the sea flap, and he says, "These should get us there quite soon. It's just over the sea here, and then across the ruins of Kingdoms Lost, and then we should be there."
Okay.
So, he mounts up, and he helps you onto your sea flap, and you start flying over the sea. The sea flaps cooing the whole way. However, that night, a storm strikes, and you lose your way. One of the sea flaps, afraid, dive bombs into the water, pulling you with it.
No.
The knight says, "No!" and he chases you down. However, you discover that the sea flaps have an innate ability to form a bubble of air around them, protecting their riders.
What?
So you dive down into the water, and there, at the base of the sea, you find yourselves lost. For several hours, as you can see, even far above the sea's surface, lightning striking and storms raging. And you wonder, how will we ever make it to the academy now? However...
How will we ever make it to the academy now?
He says, "I don't know, I was wondering the same thing." After a moment, you hear,
Yes!
"Hi."
Oh my god, is he holding a sad log?
There's a manatee, and he's clutching a log. He looks very scared of you both. And he says,
Oh my god.
"What are you doing here?"
Excuse me, Mr. No, it's okay. You're okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
okay. He clutches his log tighter.
It's a very nice log you have.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
It's very pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, just like you.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, Mr. Manatee,
Yeah.
we're lost.
Oh?
We're going to an academy of sorts.
Oh! The Academy with the banner of purple and gold?
Yeah!
I know where that is. I can lead you there through an underwater tunnel.
I thought you were going to say adventure.
Follow me!
Yes,
And
please.
he swims off the other direction, taking you and the knight in tow, still mounted atop your majestic sea flaps.
So good.
Eventually, he leads you up a wide sort of vertical tunnel until you come to the top of the shaft and poke your heads up the top. He says,
This is as far as the underwater tunnel goes, but it's just past there. And he points to these ruins. And he says, if you get past the ruins, you'll be there in no time. And you can see that the storm has passed off in another direction now.
Awesome.
Alright.
I jump out of the water on my majestic flea flap flap, and we do some flips, and it's really cool.
Amazing.
And very majestic.
As you fly over the ruins of the kingdoms, the knight points down and he says, "Look there!" And you see a bronze statue of a woman in this pose.
Oh, yes.
Piles of fabric heaped around her.
Yes. She just doesn't know what to wear.
He says, "Would that it were so. That statue is to the ancient Queen Tabitha. It is said that she was to be wed to a brave and noble knight. He was seeking out a magical wedding dress that he was to give to her. However, he was slain in his quest, and never did he return with that dress. And so she died of heartbreak." He says, "To this day, villagers from all around come to lay wedding dresses at her feet as an offering to appease the angry spirits in this place."
Man.
He says, "We should fly quickly." And he spurs his sea
Okay.
up in action.
Let's go.
Soon, over the next several days, you finally arrive at the academy, flying banners of purple and gold.
Heck yes.
As he lands, he says, "Well, my lady, I suppose that this is where I should leave you. Here you will be able to find aid to return home." As he turns to go, you hear the bard playing in the inn that he drops you off at, singing, "Tell her about it. Tell her everything you feel. Give her every reason to accept that you're for real. Tell her about it. Tell her all your crazy dreams. Let her know you need her. Let her know how much she means." With that, the knight turns back to you.
He does.
And he says to you, "My lady, I can't help but notice your striking blue eyes."
Oh.
He says, He brushes his black hair back. He says, I've always wanted blue-eyed children. Well, I would be remiss if I did not ask for your hand. However, you know that you are betrothed to another, a lord from far away."
Awkward. Yeah. About that.
Yes?
Apparently, I am betrothed to another.
Ah, well then. It would do no good to leave you here. Your beloved would surely blame me if you did not arrive in one piece. I should escort you then to his castle.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Together,
Because you're pretty rad.
Together you purchase a carriage and you ride to the castle.
We have money to buy a carriage?
He's a knight. He's
my
got
God.
money and you're a princess.
We're loaded.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so he escorts you back to the castle of your lord. As you travel over the next several weeks, you go on many more excellent and exciting adventures.
Yeah.
Until finally you arrive at the gates of the castle. You bring him in to the castle, inviting him in, and there a servant is waiting for you. The servant says, "Oh, yes, I shall fetch the master," and runs upstairs. Soon, a pale man comes downstairs, a long coat trailing at his heels. When he sees you, he raises an eyebrow and he says, "Ah, I had not thought you would be returning. It is good to see you back in one piece." And he says, "How is it that you managed to return? I had feared you were dead."
I killed so many things. And I rode on some flap flaps. They were very majestic.
Well, that is good to know. And who is this you have brought with you?
This is my new best friend, Sir Knight, that I didn't learn his name.
He says, "This knight is no friend of yours. I see his heart
And you see his eyes wide over, and he says, "This night, he feels for you true love. He is not welcome here in this castle. Leave, Sir Knight.
We're friends.
I am the only friend you need. The knight can find his own way." And his servants and guards escort the knight out as the doors slam behind him.
No!
Later.
Do I punch him in the face? No, okay, later.
Later. In the inn, in the town, the knight is drowning himself in drink.
Oh, I think you meant literally. Okay.
No. A man approaches the knight and says to him, "Oh there, what's got you so sad?" He says, "I just dropped off the woman I loved to the house of another man." He says, "Ah, yeah, that's right to do it then. That'll do it." He says, "And who's this man then? Some right noble chap?" He says, "Yes, the noble who lives up there in that castle." The man's eyes go wide as he looks to the knight and he says, "That man? Well, that man's a vampire! Who can't have left her there?" The knight stands up, immediately shaking off the drink, and he says, "A vampire?" And the man says, "Aye, he is! You've got to get up there and save that lady." Drawing his sword, the knight says, "I intend to do so." In the castle, you find yourself sitting by the fireside with the man you once thought you had loved. However, it seems very cold, the conversation this night. The man approaches you, giving you some wine, and he says, "Relax.
I don't want that.
We'll have a good night together."
I don't want that.
He says, "Let me kiss you." And he leans in to kiss you on your neck.
I'm like, give it
At that moment,
slice it.
the door flies open. It's the knight standing there, and he says, "Hands off the girl!" Just like he did the first moment you met, fighting against the ogres.
Adorable.
At that moment, you see the Lord smile wide for the first time, revealing his fangs. This Lord is no Lord at all. He's a vampire. Roll for initiative.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna stop rolling at this. That didn't happen. I can't see much better. 19.
19, nice. That means you're up first. You still have your axes on you from earlier that day when you arrived.
Yeah, I do. I hid them under my dress. As you do. 3 strikes. That's the wrong dice. Realizing my mistake.
Alright.
Immediately.
Fair enough.
3 strikes. Okay, this one is like...
Looks like 2 are going to hit.
to the chest. That's a 11.
As it swings in towards his chest, he quickly draws a rapier and parries the blow.
This one is to his neck.
And that's a 20, right?
It's +4.
Oh, +4, so 17?
17.
That'll still hit. Alright, so those 2 both swing in and strike at him.
Cool. This one's to the neck, and this one's to the face.
Alright, what's the damage?
Oh my gosh. Why do they have to be these numbers? They're so hard. 10.
Okay.
12. 13.
Do you want to use your ability?
Yeah.
Alright, so he needs to roll con save?
Yeah. 13. DC 13.
He passed the save.
Ugh, rude!
Alright, you swing in your axes, cutting deep into the vampire's flesh, and with each hit you see a searing light erupt from the vampire. At this point you realize that these are no mere axes, they are in fact magical. If at any point you roll max damage, you get to make another attack.
What?
No.
I'll probably never do that. But
It
cool.
probably won't happen, but yeah. Alright, the knight charges forward, again saying, "Hold fast, my lady!" And you again have a D4 on your attack rolls and saving throws. And that makes it the vampire's turn. The vampire, lunging at the knight who you love. I'm going to need to borrow a D20. Oh no, I can use this one. Alright, lunging at the knight. Ooh, crits him. And then hits him, dealing 7 damage and then 13.
I'm so much better than him.
Alright, and that puts us at you.
Does this bad guy not get a turn?
That was his turn. He just attacked the knight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm way better than him.
Yeah, the knight just took 20 damage.
That's okay, he'll be fine.
It's gonna be
13 plus 4.
That's gonna be 2 hits then.
Yeah, that won't, and then that will.
All right.
Cool. Oh, just kidding. It's 13 plus 7, so 6, 7, 8 plus 7 is 15.
2 hits though.
Okay. 7, 8. That's it. 7 and 8.
All right.
I'm on the spot here.
All right. That makes it the knight's turn. The knight charges the vampire, swinging in with his greatsword, hitting both times for 11 and 15 damage. However, the knight's greatsword does not appear to be magical.
No! Why'd you give me your magic weapons, you fool?
Yeah, it seems like he gave you the greatest of his weapons.
What a fool. I have 3 of them, so you could have kept one.
That's okay. That makes it the vampire spawn's turn. Again, he strikes at your beloved knight, again for a crit and another hit.
What?
Dealing 9 damage and 11 damage.
Are you gonna die?
I don't know. Alright, that's your turn.
Oh no.
Ooh, there's a crit.
Oh! Okay, well, that's those. That's these, and that's these. So, 17, 18.
That'll hit. That one's not
10,
That's going to be 13. Yeah, that won't hit.
So then, oh, but we can use this damage for this.
Yep.
So 10 plus 4, so 14. And then 11.
Alright. That makes it the knight's turn. Again, the knight swings at the vampire. However, the vampire grasps the greatsword in one hand as it cuts deep into his flesh and shoves it to the ground. The vampire then again leaps at the knight.
You don't want to hit me? Come on, dude.
He wants to stop this knight. As he grabs the knight, he grabs him by the throat and throws him across the room, where the knight clatters to the ground, his armor bashing and clanging. And that makes it your turn, as the vampire turns back to you and he says, "You should have known better than to bring home a stray."
I'm gonna hit him right to the forehead.
All right.
Right here. And then also the heart, because he's a vampire. But this is for like, I hate you, and this is for like, I'm gonna kill you.
Sounds good.
So many attacks.
Oh, 2 crits! All 3 of those hit. And that's 2 crits. So, as you chunk your axe, you only had 3 HP left. As you chunk your axe forward...
we gotta know how much I do.
That's true.
Let's be fair.
I'll go ahead and describe it while you add it up.
Going.
As you chunk your axe forward, the first embeds itself in his forehead. His head bends back and then snaps back into place as he comes striding forward. You take your other axe and slash it across his chest. And the third, flipping around with your axe in your offhand, you clip off a bottom of the wooden handled axe and stake it through his heart. The vampire grasps at it, gasping for breath, and then explodes in a burst of light.
That's right.
Vanquished at long last.
That's right, 29.
Nice.
That's right. Yay! Go over to the knight and look for a healing potion.
He's conscious, but he's choking. My lady.
Yeah.
Now that it seems I freed you
I freed you.
from your bonds semantics. He says, "I don't suppose you'd reconsider my offer." He as he lays there, he gains his breath back, and he says, "My lady, there are many great magics in this world, but none more magic than the feeling I felt in my stomach when first I met you." Reaching into the pouch, he pulls out a beautiful ring set with an opal. Haley Renee Price, will you marry me?
I love you. Do you like your fairy tale? Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh.
Guess what? We're officially engaged.
Oh, it's so pretty.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go turn off the camera.